before the ODM disciplinary committee, and we'll be following those sessions which are taking place all day today. We'll return to our conversation in studio regarding the lessons from the 0708 violence, and in particular with regard to, what we've done with historical injustices. We've just talked about land and the performance of the Land Commission and this administration in terms of making headway on that. But the other has been the question of the distribution of resources. Let me come to you, Dr. Mwangi, because we earlier talked about the fact that, this is a devolved system, that really devolution should have been the answer to certain areas feeling marginalized. Has it been the answer?
Yes, that's a very good question. We have devolution now, and we are distributing resources, which is a good thing. And out of that distribution, there's a trickle down to the ordinary mwananchi in these devolved units. The question of whether we are maximizing on the productive use of those resources, I think, is the critical question we should be thinking at this stage. And there's a feeling that despite devolution, despite the redistribution of resources from the center, that we are not having productive use of those resources that are benefiting the common good. And I think this is where the question of the effectiveness of devolution is being questioned. And right in there lies the challenge that we have, because our value system still remains one where those in power, whether at the center or the devolved unit level, are still focusing on themselves predominantly rather than on the common good. And I think this is the question that needs to be addressed. And I believe, as was mentioned earlier, I think by John, that we have an issue around our value systems. And that is why we fight. That is why we abuse one another. That is why we don't respect one another. It is a software issue rather than a hardware issue. And we need to really rethink our national values. That when we're in a position of responsibility, that we can effectively serve the common good rather than focus on individual interests.
All right.
And only when we get there shall we then have effective use of resources at the devolved units.
All right. Dr. Nasangwa, as a final question to you, what would you then say is the state of our nation as we get ready for a general election?
What I would say is that the state of the nation at the moment is such that the nominations, party nominations process actually is key, because what we are seeing is that there are quite a number of issues and complaints and all those issues, and we believe as a commission that if we are to have a peaceful environment around the general elections, then we have to start, particularly this week from 13th, when political parties are supposed to conduct their nominations. We expect that those nominations be free and fair and credible, so that the political heat or temperatures would be manageable. And also what we want to point out is, particularly to every Kenyan, that it's actually my responsibility and your responsibility to build a cohesive and peaceful nation. Let no one use you as a weapon for their political end or their political goals. People must take responsibility. Let the politicians sell their manifestos, sell their what they want to do for Mwananchi, and not dwell on the evils or the negatives of their opponents, political opponents or competitors. And also Mwananchi should be able to realize that political competition is not enmity, because that again has been our problem in the past, whereby anyone who appears to oppose the politician of your choice, Kenyans tend to think that that one is an enemy and should be fought at all costs. Actually, our political culture needs to be much better than this, and as a commission we urge that we observe peace, we observe cohesion, we observe respect for the dignity of every other person, and that particularly the contestants, we urge that you carry out and conduct your business with the decorum, with the civility, with the respect for human dignity and human life, and as well as property.
And I thank you for that, and I thank all my panelists for their views this morning. Well, of course, we're still keeping an eye at the KICC, where the current administration is launching a portal that is supposed to showcase their deliverables.